Welcome to Talk Dirt to Me, where two farmers shatter myths and take on the top issues facing America's farmers. Here's your hosts, Logan and Bobby Lee.
What's up?
Another good evening. Another wet and moist evening.
Yep.
We haven't had a lot of that. Like, this was a good rain.
Oh, man, it was a good rain. I was actually, this morning, my kids are out of school now. They're done for summer. And so I actually woke up earlier than I would on mornings they got to go to school. And I went and got my coffee and I sat on the front porch, just watched it rain. And I was thinking that this morning. I was like, man, this is a great rain. Like, it was a slow, just steady rain.
Well, they weren't really predicting that.
No, I thought it was going to be a toad
They
stringer.
were talking about how, because I guess it started about dark yesterday.
Yeah.
How could be high winds and all this. And heck, we sat outside like we do most nights to eat. And a lot of times if it's, we got a little cover, but if it's sideways rain like we get sometimes, we have to retreat inside. No, it was just a slow, steady rain. And it rained from, again, about 7, 8 o'clock last night till
12 o'clock or 10 o'clock today or something.
Yeah, it was still raining this morning. I was vaccinating some calves, and I wouldn't have been doing it if I wouldn't have had a covered barn to do it in.
Yeah.
I mean, it was raining the whole time. But I got to think, I had about 1.25 inches there at the house.
Yeah, I haven't even looked to see what the final tally was. This morning, most of my fields had gotten at least 8/10 of rain. And Alex said that was at 6 a.m.
Well, that was me this morning. It wasn't quite 1 inch, but yeah, I guess I dumped the gauge out about 5, 6 o'clock tonight. Yeah, it was right at 1.25 inches.
See, that's a great rain. Man, corn, everything's going to skyrocket after this. Because a lot of my corn, actually all my corn, has not had a rain on it since I side dressed it.
Yeah.
And so it's going to really jump off. And yeah, man, it was just a good rain. And then today, man, I took it easy today. Like the kids out of school, so we took them to Waffle House this morning. Got some waffles, and then went to Lowe's, and then I worked on taxes because I did extended mine.
That's a shit sandwich.
That is a shit sandwich.
But I kind of woke up this morning. I was like, all right, yeah, I knew I was going to vaccinate those calves, which I knew it was supposed to rain. I was like, well, I can do that under the barn. Like, really? Like, I'm going to catch up on some odds and ends. No. I had a damn shit sandwich I had to eat.
Uh-oh. What happened?
So I'll show you the picture. Of course, our audience can't see that. But, and actually, I knew about it before I went to bed last night. One of my feed bins.
Oh, shit. The wind?
No. That's the thing. The wind never really blew. So of course, naturally it was full, which is why it collapsed.
Yeah.
A feed bin with about 2.5, 3 tons of feed in it absolutely collapsed. Broke that corner post on the barn.
Did it break the leg off of the feed bin? Or did it bend?
Bent it all to hell. Hit the cattle trailer.
Dang.
Didn't damage the cattle trailer too bad. Broke some of my wood fence, which, I mean, that's just replacing a board. That ain't no big deal. But
Why did it happen?
Well,
you got concrete pad under the legs?
and it had sitting there, and it would kind of, because I mean, it's got all that heavy feed all the time. The skids that it's on had kind of gotten in the ground, and one of them had rusted.
Oh yeah,
and yet just fatigued. And I mean, I probably could have done a little better maintenance to have tried to prevent it.
So it was the Indian, not the arrows.
Well, yeah, I'd say it's a little bit of both. Like I don't know why they make them things like those spindly little. I mean, it's just angle iron legs.
Yeah, you would think of, because it's got a lot of weight in there. How much weight does that hold?
It'll hold. That one probably holds a little over 3 tons.
Okay.
Because when I get feed delivered, I get 6 tons, and my other bin is actually mobile. It's on wheels, and it won't hold quite as much. And
so you're talking at least 6,000 pounds.
Oh yeah.
I mean, so that's
it was. I think they delivered feed last Thursday, and I hadn't taken much out of it, and so I thought I could get it back upright, like using a tractor and everything. No, it was too damn heavy. And then the other leg started bending. And at first I was like, if I can get it back upright, I'm going to get somebody to come out here that really can weld and fix it. Now, it's a hunk of scrap metal now.
You bent the other legs all to hell?
All to hell. And then I was like, well, I got to get this feed out of it. And of course, it's laying over where the feed won't flow out of it.
Will your skid steer pick it up?
And I tried, like, I had a strap around it with a tractor trying to pull it back. but and backing up, and the back end of the tractor would come off the ground, and I was trying to help it with the skid steer. No, it was a shit show. I was filming most of it, so.
All right, so the next video will be interesting.
So then I ended up scooping feed out of it a bucket at a time. It
Right.
still ain't quite empty.
So you couldn't even like get it to sit up far enough to dump out of it?
No, and I thought I could at first because I was like, oh yeah, I had it all planned out in my head. I'm going to get it straightened back up, and then I'm just going to pull up there with the skid steer
And hold it.
Put the bucket underneath the spout, just open it up.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
my gravity wagon, I got it empty. It had a little corn in it, but I got all that out. And I was like, I'll just use the bucket. You know, I'll fill that bucket up, you know, maybe 15 or 20 times, but I'll like, oh yeah, this is good. No, there's a fair chance I won't be able to get out of bed in the morning. My back was, because you gotta, it's like a little hole in the
I was going
top
to say,
of it.
because I remember, because isn't that the one that, have I not been out there to that one before?
Yeah. This is the original one. Hey, I got more than my money's worth out of it. I mean, I hated to just, but now it is nothing but scrap iron. Like I was so pissed at it. And I was like, I'm just going to run the forks into the side of it and I can pick it up. But at this point, I'd already decided like this thing ain't, like it's going to the scrap yard.
Yeah.
And yes, that's what I did all afternoon. What should have been a rainy, lazy day of just like chilling.
Turned into a shit show.
But I wouldn't have got to chill because today was our kids' last day of school too. And so one reason I was glad to record tonight, I have 6 12-year-old girls at my house right now.
All right. Yeah, good place to get out of. Where's Willis?
Oh, he's there too. And my wife is there. Yeah, there'll be 9.
A lot of estrogen over there right now.
Yeah, so last day of school, my daughter wanted to have some friends over to swim and do a sleepover. And so, well, she did tell me, she's like, you're going to grill steak. I was like, well, you can ask nicely, but yes, I will.
You're like, I will.
Grilled a bunch of beef for them, and we just got done eating. I came right over here.
Yeah, I thought you smelled like a grill.
Yeah.
You had that
Well, and
grill
I
scent.
started the fire pit going too.
Gotcha.
So I probably do smell like, which hell, I had to take a shower this morning because I had to go to a meeting, and then I got all nastier than hell doing that all afternoon. But I'm not going to shower more than once in a day. So I jumped in the pool for the first time this year.
Gotcha.
So I took a pool bath.
Well,
But you did get to take it easy.
I took it easy
You had
today.
a true rainy day.
I did. Like I said, I worked on taxes for about 4 or 5 hours, and that was terrible. That makes me want to kill myself. I did that, and then
that can make you want to kill yourself for multiple reasons.
Yes. Now I did. I actually did something today that I don't normally do. I ran 2 miles.
Well, there you go.
I ran a true mile, and then I kind of jogged a mile because I was like, I'm just going to see what because I like to lift. I don't do a ton of running, but I was like, I'm just going to see what I can run a mile in. And because I've
Did
dropped.
you go into town?
No, I did treadmill in the workout room.
Yeah.
And I ran, I did an 8:30 mile. I was like, for a 235 pound guy that don't run miles, I'm not too mad about it.
No, 8 minutes.
8 minutes and 30 seconds.
For the first mile? Or
Yes, for the first mile.
That's getting it pretty good. But
I could not have maintained
I can't run on a treadmill. Like I hadn't tried in a long time, but
I like running on a treadmill because I can.
Oh man, I like getting out. Like I can see stuff.
See, I like to focus on the number because if I get on a treadmill, when the pain starts to come, I can see the number. And if it's like 0.85, then I'm like, I can hammer
even
down.
if you're not wearing your like running watch or anything, you can have that phone in your hand and like,
Well, that's true. I could
pick this shit up.
Yeah, and I could, but I just like, I don't know, a treadmill because I usually do it after I lift anyways. But typically I just do like a 10-minute kind of.
And we've got
quick
some
walk.
pretty decent places to run, like in and around town. We got.
Yeah.
I hate doing it like at 3 o'clock in the afternoon when school's getting out and stuff, just because when you do have to cross the road, traffic's horrendous.
Oh yeah.
I like when I'm running through town, and I hadn't run much in the last year. Watching all the cars and seeing how many people aren't paying attention to the road.
Yeah.
It's scary. Like how many people
Are looking at their phones.
and you assume they're looking at their phones, but
Yeah.
they're like looking down. Like damn good well they're looking at their phone. I'm like, oh shit, this is scary.
Yeah, you see probably a lot of roadhead too when you're doing that too, I bet.
None ever confirmed. I think they're all just looking at their phones.
Man, when you're driving a semi, you see a lot of interesting things.
Because you're looking.
You're
down.
up high.
What's the most interesting thing you've seen?
I've just seen, you'll see some really risque outfits. Like a lot of times chicks kind of hike up their dress a little bit when they get in the car.
Oh, yeah, because I guess they kind of got to get in.
And now, so I haven't spent a lot of time. The over-the-road truckers.
People like smoking meth or anything?
Like probably smoking mozzarella cheese. Isn't that what Hunter Biden liked to smoke?
Hell, I don't know.
What he snored off of the rug. I thought he was snorting mozzarella cheese. I don't know. I haven't seen a ton besides just, like I said, you see some risque outfits, but Mr. Robert, he's like, oh man, I'd see all kinds of stuff. He's like, girls would show it because he was on the road trucker. Yeah. Like for a while. So he would see.
Something about like a truck driver, a women like to.
It just brings it out in him. Yeah. He was like, I've seen them, man. They'd show him stuff. And he said, man, they'd have that thing aired out.
Well,
so
I've never driven a big truck, not on the road anyway.
Yeah. But most of what I see is people looking at a phone.
Yeah.
Like I'm driving because like I said, you can just see straight in there. So for people that are listening, the guys in the big trucks can see. If we got some ladies tuning in here and you air yourself out when you're riding, those semi-truck drivers, you got to be watching them. They be catching a peek. But I guess before we get into too deep, I need to highlight a couple things. First, we need you guys to leave us ratings and reviews. Comment below on Spotify, YouTube, wherever. Got a shit ton of comments on the last Spotify. Our last topic, really, people enjoyed that one.
I checked the comments, but I'd always do it like in the first 24 hours. I need to start waiting, give people a little time to comment.
Yeah, we got like 14 comments or something.
On our top 3?
Yes.
Well, and there was some on YouTube. The Lampley brothers pointed out a great one. Real nice, Clark.
Hey, yeah, that is a good one. Yeah, because didn't he say he uses that one a lot or something?
Oh, I use that one all the time.
Yeah.
Which especially, if it had been around Christmas when we had that as our top 3, there were no doubt. There were multiple quotes from Christmas Vacation. Super quotable movie. That was one of those topics where, Lord, we could have done 100.
Absolutely.
And they could have all been legit, like potential top 3s.
Well, I'm on speed through some of these because we'll be here all episode reading these, but I want to hit on some of them. So guys, don't get your feelings hurt if I go fast. Jackson writes in, I'm glad y'all done this topic. First one was also my senior quote. Life is hard, but it is harder when you're stupid.
John Wayne.
Yep. If you aren't first, you're last.
Ricky Bobby.
And I'm the king of the world. Do you know what movie that's from? I'm king of the world is how he hollers it.
I'm going to know it when you say it, but
it's Leo on the front of the ship in Titanic when he's got his arms out.
That was not where I was going, but I do.
I'm king of the world. The next one comes in, negative Ghost Rider. The pattern is full. Talk to me, Goose. Both of those from Top Gun.
Yep.
And then I'm surprised neither of us thought of this one, but I'm your Huckleberry.
Did we not mention that one?
Mm-mm. We didn't mention any Tombstone.
Did I really not?
Mm-mm.
Because that was my topic and going into it.
Yeah, no.
Because I was thinking that one, and then when Wyatt is when he's on right there on the platform of the train station, when he goes through that long monologue, the Cowboys are done. You tell them I'm coming,
and hell's coming with me.
You
hear? No, we didn't quote any Tombstone.
What I meant to. Okay, yeah.
Damn. And then you can do the sad one. When he's like dying he's like, hell, Doc, I got lots of friends. He says, I don't. You could do a good one there. No, we didn't do any Tombstone.
You could have done a bunch of Tombstone, a bunch of Lonesome Dove.
There's a lot of good quotable ones. All right, and then we got a comment here. This says, hey, Logan, if y'all are still interested in a tractor, I've got a 4960 for sale. It has duals and Trimble RTK GPS ready to work. Hit me up. That's Anderson. Man, I'd love to have one, but I just probably ain't got the cash. But I'd be curious to know more about it. Dan writes in, and this was a good one. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, over? Did you say over? Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor?
Yeah.
Hell no. And it ain't over now. Because I could quote the whole thing. Because when the going gets tough, and he looks around, and nobody says anything, and he goes, the tough get going. Who's with me?
Animal House.
Animal House. Dirty Harry. Do you feel lucky, punk?
Make my day.
Yeah.
And that was another one. I know I didn't mention it, but I was like, that'd be a good, very quoted
Yep.
one. This here's a 44 Magnum.
Blow your head clean off.
Most powerful handgun in the world.
Life's a garden. Dig it.
Did I not mention that?
I think you did that one.
Yeah, okay.
Here's a question for you in this. What kind of bell wrap does Bobby Lee use?
I've been using the Bell Tough Bell Net Wrap, obviously. Good segue into our friends from agzaga.com because I never pay full price. I always get that $20 off using that discount code TALKDIRT20. But buddy, whatever kind you want, they've got it. The Bell Tough, the American flag net wrap's what I'm using right now.
Yep. That's what I was going to say. I was thinking. I get tickled. Hunter, he commented, he said the ending laughing because, right at the end, I snuck in the cocaine thing because we almost forgot, but I got two right here on the board, and right at last minute, I was like, oh, yeah. And then our awesome listener here, Lily, she wrote, all right.
Yeah.
Good old Matthew.
McConaughey, yeah.
Then she said, when was the last time you had a desk pop? September 08. You know what that one is? Come on, man. Mark Wahlberg, Will Ferrell. Have you ever seen The Other Guys?
I have, but I didn't recognize that quote.
That's another movie that's pretty damn
What's the
quotable.
Quote again?
When was the last time you had a desk pop? September 08. He shoots a pistol inside the precinct. Will Ferrell does. They take his gun away. You give him that wooden gun.
So a desk pop is when you
pop off
accidental
inside.
Discharge.
Yep.
Oh, Lord.
My favorite quote from that movie is Michael Keaton. He's the police chief, and he also works at Bed Bath & Beyond at night. And a couple of the guys get into like a shouting match, and Michael Keaton goes, guys, shake your dicks. This pissing match is over. And that's
I remember that one now.
She said, then here's another classic. She said, I thought they said yous was hung, and they was right. Blazing Saddles.
Okay, yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah. I need to watch Blazing Saddles again.
All right, we got a lot more, but we got to get into this.
We can't turn the whole episode into that. But
yeah.
We appreciate the comments for sure.
We do. I did have to talk to Mason in here because he commented and he said, can't believe, and I actually was like, gosh, how did I not think of this one? Can't believe with all the Predator quotes from Logan that the one from Jesse Ventura when he offers the guy chewing tobacco on the helicopter didn't make it. I thought you might
go with that one.
And I got in trouble on Spotify because I wrote back and I said, damn, a bunch of slack-jawed faggots. And I got flagged. Yeah. So, and I said, I tried to say the quote in response and Spotify flagged it. But yes.
I hadn't gotten in trouble, but I know. Is it on Instagram where if you put something like that, a quote would be like, and you try to send it, it'll be like, do you really want to send this comment?
Yes.
Like I wouldn't have typed it. I wouldn't have taken the time to type the damn thing out if I didn't want to send it.
Yeah. No, it does. And it's like, this
might be offensive to some people. Are you sure you want to send this comment?
Well, and we got in jail on Instagram because I commented something about cocaine on somebody's page and it said we were trying to sell cocaine.
Wow. Yeah.
So we've been accused. Times are tough. All right. So guys, we appreciate y'all tuning in with us. Have you heard, one of our listeners actually sent me this story. Have you heard about the modern day cattle rustling that's going on?
Well, those stories pop up from time to time. I have not heard of any super recently, but with the cattle market where it is right now, I'm 0% surprised.
Well, that's what...
was this one, was it relatively local to us in Mississippi?
No, this one...
Because there was a story out of Mississippi in the last 3 or 4 months. I don't know if we ever talked about it here. But I have.
I don't know. This is in Mercer County. This is in Ohio.
Okay, yeah, let's hear it.
All right, so I got all the details here. So the crime was 64 Holstein calves. They vanished overnight from a farm outside Coldwater, Ohio. Says between 10 p.m. Saturday, May 2nd. And hey, and we'll share this because actually they've not caught the thieves. So we got listeners all over the place. If this...
Hey, cattle rustlers, you catch them, you got to...
You string them up.
String them up right there on the spot.
Yeah.
Like justice will be served.
Well, this... So if you're Well, and it ain't going to be in that area. They done got them cattle out of there, but that's where it happened, Coldwater, Ohio, between 10 p.m. Saturday, May 2nd and 6 a.m. Sunday, May 3rd. This the landowner here had a poultry barn that they had converted to a calf barn. And, it's a pretty good haul off. They are estimating $1,800 to $2,000 a head.
Yeah.
'Cause I think they were like 250 pounds. So that's $115,000 to $120,000. That's a pretty good little haul there for cash.
Well, that's the thing. Like, right. When cattle prices suck, somebody's probably not going to take the risk. But
yeah.
now I guess they're saying the risk is worth the reward, kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, the sheriff, his name's Doug Timmerman, he says that it is an inside job. He said whoever did it obviously had a gooseneck, knew how to corral cattle, and they moved fast. So it was somebody familiar with the industry, familiar with cattle. And I would
assume like some calves up in a barn like that, because obviously, somebody that really knew what they were doing could like steal some of mine, the rest on the farm that's not at my house. Because
what would you say would be the easiest way for someone to do that?
Well, let me go ahead and just
lay it out there
to the world.
Yeah. What address and all these things could you share that?
But I mean, like they would have to really know. But like mine are out on pasture. Like they're not going to ride by and be like, that's right for the taking. But I would assume, I don't know what their exact setup was, but if they're already relatively confined and they're bold enough to think, I can pull in there,
zip in there and get them and get out.
And, within I don't know how long it
took
them, but
here's the
deal.
deal.
At like 3 a.m. and there's not any houses or anything nearby. Like, yeah, I can see where that would be totally doable.
Well, and I'll tell you, here's the deal on them. So they're not, where it gets a little more interesting. And this is why I say, listeners, be kind of paying attention here. So they're black and white Holsteins. They're about 250 pounds. They have docked tails and they have specific ear tag markings. So their ear tags, I'm assuming if they're smart, I'm guessing they probably will have removed those or replaced them.
Because if it's just a tag and they're not like notched,
they can just cut it out and slap a new one in there, couldn't they?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And so they're too young for serial numbers, but their color and their, I don't know. If you guys, and it's 64 of them.
Well, and that's more dairy country. Like around here, a bunch of Holstein calves would stick out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't tell you the last time I saw a Holstein.
Well, we got Ohio folks that listen. So I've got the number here. I'm going to share the tip line.
I'm like you. I wouldn't be surprised if those calves went hundreds of miles away before they, and if they're smart, again, this is me just like, okay, I'm probably going to sell them to somebody direct that probably knows they're hot, but it's somebody else shady I can work with. They're going to then graze them for a while or whatever, or feed them for a while. Because would you say they were 250 pounds?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to carry them out quite a ways to where, not only are they in a different region of the country, but
they're going to be unrecognizable by the time they get there.
Well, and like time has passed and like it's not a hot topic. Like, I don't know. Like if I was trying to recreate that crime.
Yeah. Well, for the number, if any of you catches something that kind of perks you up, the number is 419-586-7724. Hey, and that's for tips. If you see something that looks suspicious and you're in the Ohio vicinity or around there, because that's what I've thought about this, because there's like a part of me that would love, I'm a big Taylor Sheridan fan of some of his movies. Like, have you ever seen Hell or High Water?
Yeah.
All right, I like that movie. It's a bank robber movie. I watched it and I was like, man, I'd like to write. I would love to write something like, I'd like to write one about a modern day cattle rustlers. And I was trying to think of how you could do this. And I'm like, if you were going to be a cattle rustler, you would have to be able to get the cattle out of that state. Like, you'd have to get them away. And that's where I was kind of thinking, I'm like, if you were smart, you'd have multiple buyers in multiple states and you could kind of split them up. You could send some here, send some there, and kind of split them off so that there's not all of a sudden 64 cattle, even though it's like 2 states over, there's not 64 cattle that appear at a sale. Like, I'm like,
oh, no, I doubt they ran them through an actual auction. Like now. Do
you think they paid the beef checkoff? Are they going to mail a check in for their?
Because again, my assumption would be they sold them to somebody that, at a discounted rate, obviously, because they probably knew they were hot. And I doubt they mailed their.
You don't think they mailed in their
beef checkoff?
That's disappointing. Would you buy a load of hot cattle?
No. It ain't worth it.
Like it's super cheap. What if some guy came up to you and was like, I got 150 head of cattle. I'll sell them to you for $500 a cow.
I don't buy hardly anything direct other than from people I know.
Yeah.
Like all the ones I bought, like straight off the farm from somebody else. Now I've sold some to people that I didn't really know. Now I can honestly say I've never, I won't say I don't do illegal things from time to time, but I've never rustled cattle.
Yeah. What is that? I wonder what kind of crime that you would see. Like if you, all right, let's say you bought them. Let's say that you were somebody that was approached by this guy and he had 64 head of cattle and he's like, I want to sell them. Like, is it your duty to find out their background that deeply? Or like, could you, what if you just.
I say that I bought some heifers direct from a guy I found on Craigslist one time.
Yeah. See, so like, I don't think it would be on the, it's not, would it be on the buyer?
Hell, I bought, I totally
You bought some miniatures one time too.
I bought all kinds of cattle like off Craigslist, not in a long time, but, it was always like you would go to the farm and see them. Like it wasn't like, hey, we got them loaded up. We need to sell them today.
Yeah.
Can you take them? Like it's never anything like that.
What is that? Who does that fall upon though? Would it fall on the buyer, or would it still the responsibility all be on the seller that has stolen them?
I don't know. Like I remember a guy I knew in high school. He bought a dirt bike off somebody for cheap, and it was clearly hot. And I think it did get tracked down. I don't think he got in any trouble because he kind of had plausible deniability. Like he didn't know for sure it was stolen.
Yeah. Odds were it was
kind of one of those deals that was too good to be true. But
so he didn't get. So I do just.
I don't think he got in any like serious trouble. I think like if they had really wanted to, they probably could have tried to. But it kind of probably I assume one of those things where they would like thrown it out when I got to court. But like okay, like you weren't the actual criminal. Now you bought it knowing it was probably stolen. But
yeah. Well, it does. And you said it too. This doesn't happen in the old days of beef because you wouldn't get hardly any money for a load of cattle like that.
Yeah,
now they're crazy.
Because I would assume they probably had to sell them. Again,
like they're
worth roughly $2,000 a head, but they were like, "Hey, I need to get rid of these calves quick."
Yeah,
and you're like, "What?" Like $1,000 a head.
Yeah.
Then they probably get spit, but like, "All right,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd probably do it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'd give them $1,000 a head.
Yeah, there you go. if you happen to see any Holstein calves around Logan's place, start asking questions.
Yeah, you got the phone number in there. Well, it's like when I was I can share this story because the guy is dead. When I was in machine school, when I went to tech school, I went for machine tool, so to go to be a machinist, and we would make parts, and it was self-paced, which was awesome because if you go in there and work hard, you can get done really quick. And that's what I just went in there and would work. And like I finished the main curriculum pretty quickly. And the teacher at the time, I won't share his name, but like I said, RIP, he did pass away a few years ago. But he had told me, he was like, because we had a couple CNC machines and a lot of manual machines. Well, I had found a blueprint for an AR-15. And I went in there and I was like, hey, can I make this? I want to build an AR in here. And he was like, Logan, I can't. Do you honestly think I can allow you to build an AR-15 inside the shop of this school? And I was like,
well, I think everything except the lower.
Well, and it was
because it's always your lower receiver that you have to have the
serialized.
Yeah.
Well, that's specifically what I had was the lower blueprint. And
so that is what you were wanting to make.
That is what I was wanting to make. Yeah. He was like, I can't let you make that. And I was like, I kind of laughed and I was like, sorry, I figured.
I thought this was America.
well, I turned around and walk out and he goes, well, wait a minute. And I said, I turned around and he goes,
that just has to be my official statement.
Yeah. He goes, y'all farm, don't you? And I said, yeah. And he goes, man, them combines, they got all kinds of parts on them, don't they? And I said, well, yeah, they got all kinds of stuff on there. And he says, well, if you got to machine some part for a combine, and I don't know what it is. I don't give a shit what you make out there. Just don't tell me what it is. And I started laughing. I turned around and he goes, plausible deniability, Logan. All you ever need is plausible deniability. So, and then it turned out the blueprint that I had actually was like there was this continuity tolerance on there that was like even outdated. So like the blueprint basically ended up sucking that I had. So I never made it, but I ended up graduating out pretty shortly after. But I've always remembered that. He was like, plausible deniability is everything.
He was kind of giving you the green lights, like, you can go ahead.
Yeah.
But Logan's going on the record here and saying he never actually did it.
I never did it. But I'll tell you, man, people want to know about some guys that have some crazy shit. I'll tell you, machinists have some crazy shit. So now there is some stuff going on in the world. Actually, but I guess before we get in that, do you got to?
It's your week to pick.
It's my week. I was thinking about this earlier. All right, I'll tell you. And this one would tie in good actually with our just ag audience. All right, you have just bought a new service truck.
All right.
You got no tools. What are the first 3 tools that you are going to put on or in the service truck? It can be hand tools, electric tools, motorized, anything, but the first 3 purchases you're making to put in this truck.
I have no tools.
No tools. It's just a brand new empty truck with a flatbed on it.
Like my service truck got stolen. I lost every one of my tools.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to be like individual tools.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
There's like 800 I need.
Yeah, but these are like, you're going to rank these in priority. Like, all right, I got to have one of these on here. I got to have that on there. Yeah, I want it to be individual.
Well, so I'm going to have my Milwaukee Impact.
Okay.
Like I'm going to have that. Tools. Good grief. I mean, hell, you need a like a solid set of standard metric wrench. I mean,
of course.
But like, I just have to like pick like
a 10 millimeter. No, you can have like wrenches and stuff like that. It didn't have to be that tight, but.
Well, yeah, I got to have a good solid set of standard and metric wrenches. I mean,
okay.
Obviously.
So that's your number 2.
What's something else? I just can't live without. So just specifically tools, not talking about like fuel tank or.
Oh no, anything you would put on your service truck.
Well, I'm probably going to go. Well, if I can do that, then I'm going to say just a set of standard metric wrenches, my Milwaukee Impact, and my fuel tank.
Gotcha. Well, that Milwaukee ain't going to do you a damn bit of good without no impact sockets. I'm just kidding.
Well, you're right. And my mind kind of went there, but that'd be the next thing I'd go for. No, I used mine today.
So you said your Milwaukee, your some wrenches, and the fuel tank. All right. So the fuel tank.
I mean, hell, I need a toolbox. I mean,
hell. Well, I mean, my back seat is full of tools in my service truck. So the fuel tank was one I was going to use. My number 1 is going to be an air compressor because.
See, I don't have an air compressor, and I've been able to live without one. So
shit, I have. That is one of those things because I'll have a flat tire. It never fails. And an air compressor, I got to have an air compressor.
Oh, yeah, no.
I would have said probably number 2 would have been a fuel tank, but Bobby Lee's claimed the fuel tank already. So my number 2, man, all right, air compressor. Number 2 is probably going to be, and I got my Milwaukee too, but I can't pick that one either. I'm going to go, I guess, with a good set of a ratchet, 1/2-inch drive. I want a 1/2-inch drive ratchet.
Yeah.
With some standard metric sockets. So got like the little kit of it, whatever. I don't care. I like, I'm an S&K man.
Yeah.
SK Tools. That was our grandfather used a bunch of them. We've highlighted them on here before. They're made in USA.
Well, you're not a Snap-on guy?
No, I'm not a Snap-on guy. I don't even know if they're made in USA.
What about Craftsman?
Craftsman's definitely not made in USA.
Are they not?
I'm about 100% sure.
I I'm just giving you a hard time.
Yeah, no, I think Craftsman, where are Craftsman? Let's see, I got to look now, but I would bet money that they're not made in USA.
My original set that I got is actually Stanley.
Stanley, some of that is made in USA. I got a Stanley Proto that's pretty badass.
That was like one of my first like legitimate, it was like a 80-piece tool set. It's got a quarter, a half drive, ratchet and socket set and all the wrenches, whatnot. That was kind of the beginnings of mine, which of course I've had to replace a lot of wrenches over the years. It's funny how they go missing.
They do, especially the 10 millimeter. Most Craftsman tools are made in Taiwan, China, Vietnam, and other countries.
Oh, I'll be damned.
Yeah, but S&K is made in the good old United States. So I got the air compressor, my socket and ratchets. Number 3, I'm gonna go
Toilet paper.
Well, that's gonna be in there for sure. I'm gonna go with a mini sledge because there's a lot of times, man,
I beat the shit out of things.
I do. I gotta have a hammer. I use a hammer all the time.
If you need to kill a man.
Gotta kill a man. You can. I'm used to slinging a big hammer, so I need to carry that around.
Oh shit.
Yeah. No, I actually carry.
It only took us 35 minutes to start line.
I do. Actually, I will tell you, on my service truck, I do have one of my pride and joys on there. I got a 16-pound sledgehammer on that thing.
Yeah.
And that's a big son of a bitch. I carried an 8-pounder for a while, but like when we were working on my track hoe and the bulldozer, we had to drive out these big pins on the actual boom. And my track hoe was a 330, so it's really big. And man, I tell you, that 16-pounder, if it won't move it, it just ain't gonna move.
Yeah. I would throw some honorable mentions in there.
Duct tape,
penetrating oil.
Oh yeah.
Shop towels.
Always the blue paper towels. Yeah.
Yep.
Those are shit rags more than anything. But yeah.
Need you a tape measure.
For what?
It never fails. I get so mad when I can't find one. I'm like, set of pliers, like
pliers.
Pliers.
Pliers is something that I can never find.
Some vice grips,
Yeah. I'll tell you what is not something that I use very often, but when I use it, it is invaluable. My welder that's on my service truck. That thing, I don't use it very often, but when I got to have it, it is worth its weight in gold.
See, my problem, so my truck has a bale bed. And so all winter, I use it to haul hay. So
you can't really put much on the back, can you?
Right. I take the fuel tank off once I'm done with hay season, basically, because otherwise, that's when I really need it. And thankfully, my box, and because I roll the 4x5 bales, as long as I'm careful about how I load them, I can leave my box, my toolbox there.
Yeah.
But because a buddy of mine I was talking, he's got a feeder on his truck. And actually, the truck I bought had one on it before I bought it, but man, that would kind of get in the way.
Yeah.
And I couldn't have a feeder and a fuel tank on it for sure. Like, that'd be way too much. And then you definitely couldn't haul anything with a gooseneck. But,
well, I have got to have a fuel tank. That is something, because mine.
I managed without one for a while, but my problem is I don't have a tank at my house.
Yeah.
And so. Yeah, I almost have to have one at this point. Otherwise, I mean, I guess I could start getting fuel delivered, but Lord, I don't burn enough to really justify that. What's the minimum they want to bring to you?
I don't know. I usually buy a load.
A tanker truck.
Yeah, it'll be like 27. It's 2,700 gallons or something.
Yeah. If I had like a 500-gallon tank, that'd be.
And I think see, they will bring a smaller one, because we've gotten them to deliver we got that smaller road fuel. And they'll bring it, and I think they will bring like 500 gallons.
Yeah, if I couldn't have my tank, my transfer tank there that I use, that I could probably make do with that, because I'm just doing hay. Like, I'm usually back to the house before I burn a full tank anyway.
I would like to put a tank out here. I need one, but yeah. Now see that one over there at the birdhouse, it'll hold like 10,000 gallons.
Yeah,
we don't ever put that much in there. I bought the last load in it because
what does the tanker hold?
2777 or something.
Oh Lord, so it'd be more than 3 tankers.
Yeah, those they're typically 20, because I just got a tank load Not now you're talking about like just the truck, the Bob truck type tanker. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I think it's like 2,700 and something gallons.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, they would have to do some hauling. But and I mean, it'd take us a long time to burn through 10,000 gallons.
Trump would let us know the next time he was going to start bombing Iran. Would be willing to fill the whole thing up.
I wish that we had known. Yeah, I'd have bought some of that $2 diesel and put in there. Yeah, instead of the $4 and something off-road fuel. But yeah, and speaking of Trump, so I had shared, we had talked in our last episode. It was the meeting was happening as we were recording.
Oh yeah, him and President
Shangxing. Yeah,
which kind? Yeah, because that's the thing we said last week. We don't even know how to say it. President Z.
Z. Where is that? All right, here we go. So
yeah, grains responded favorably, didn't they?
Well, they did. They did.
And then they took back some profit.
The ground has already started to shake.
Did you book a bunch before it started to?
I booked some $12 beans and I did book some $5 corn, and I am really glad I did. So I got the details here. So I wouldn't, because I shared a thing on our Instagram and stuff about the fact that they said China was going to buy 17 billion bushels, $17 billion worth the ag products per year. That's what the White House put this out. And so I shared it on there. Of course, we had some people that climb up out of the sewers to talk shit.
Oh, yeah.
Even though
we love the haters. Leave the comments. We got to pump that algorithm up.
Oh, yeah. And it just tickled me because
some people are just born to be dickheads.
They are. And it was funny because we actually didn't say anything about Trump. It was just announcing, okay, this is what they've said is going to happen. And so we shared that. Well, China is like, whoa. That, you know,
we didn't. That's your side of the story.
Yes, China says
we said we might.
Yeah, their commerce ministry called it only a guiding target and said there was no mention of the $17 billion number, no product list. And it said China never officially acknowledged the 12 million metric ton old crop soybean figure outlined by the White House in November.
President Z had his fingers crossed.
Apparently, yeah, behind his back or something. Hitting 17 billion in non-soybean buys would require China to redirect purchases away from Brazil, Argentina, Australia, Canada, and Canada. Political decision, not commercial. The odds of that is very slim.
Shit, we don't care nothing about those people.
Well, I'm with you. Yeah, I'm with you.
I know we got some listeners in those places, but I mean,
we do like our.
We got to take care of ourselves first.
We do. We're very America first. I do actually have a buddy now that is friends with me on Instagram. He's a Brazilian farmer, and he sends me stuff all the time. But it's kind of cool. But the 2020 deal called for $200 billion in extra U.S. purchases. China never came close. It said U.S. ag exports to China fell from $38 billion in 2022 to $8.3 billion in 2025. So,
well, and there was a post. I don't even know who it was from. It may have been from officially the USDA or Brooke Rollins. It was quoting her, but they had agreed to buy. And I don't know. It may have been one of these deals where they didn't actually agree, but it was like a bunch of beef, and people were like, "What the hell? We got a shortage of beef already. You know, we're already having to import beef, and now we're agreeing to export." Literally, if you clicked on it, you didn't even have to read the article. If you just read like the caption, it was mostly like organ meat and byproducts that we don't eat anyway. It literally gets ground into dog food or like just, rendered into compost. Like it's like tongues and hearts and shit like that, hooves that we don't eat. It would have taken you 3 seconds to have read the next line. That
they can't get past the headline.
Like they're not buying like grinding meat and ribeyes, but literally, which people were roasting them in the comments. Like
you didn't read.
Yeah, reading must be hard for you.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of where we're at. I mean, people have the attention span of like 2 or 3 seconds.
Yeah, like they literally, if it's not like on the caption of the post, they don't read it.
Yeah. Well, here is in a global supply picture. Here's kind of what we're looking at. Australia's wheat is apparently in trouble. And I tell you, we do actually have a pretty strong Australian listener base, and I think it's pretty badass. Like, what we'd like is for you guys to just invite Bobby Lee and I to Australia. And I'd like to go. I ain't never been down under. You ever been down there? Throw another shrimp on the barbie.
You beat me to it. I was trying to get my Australian accent all ready to go.
Do it.
But you already did it.
Yeah, but I didn't do it good. Where's she from? Austria? And he's like, throw another shrimp on the barbie.
Good day, mate.
Man.
No, that's pretty much it for my Australian.
If you could have an accent besides Southern American, what would it be?
Southern American.
Like besides what we got.
Besides being just a redneck.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do women find like really
Australians?
Australia.
Chris
I feel
Hemsworth.
like women like anything exotic, like even like a British accent.
Ah, come on. You think British is kind of like, they're kind of sissy, kind of soft.
Oh, they definitely are. But women are into like just anything different.
Really? Like tea and crumpets?
Maybe not. You're probably right. You know,
I just know my wife loves like Chris Hemsworth talking. So I'm like, and I think
I couldn't have even told you he was Australian.
Yeah, he's Australian.
Well, I gave my brother a hard time. So he's big into Australian Shepherds. They just got him another puppy. And
why?
Well, because he only had one dog. Like a vet with only one dog.
Wow, man, Drew, come on, those are rookie numbers. You got to bump those up.
For a vet to only have one.
Yeah, Bobby Lee's got like 12 dogs in his house. They all sleep in his bed.
Honest to God, I have to count them when they go in and out of the house. But his female is named Dot, which is pretty generic, like Dot, D-O-T. So he's like, well, we need another D name. I was like, well, it needs to be Australian. I was like,
Dino.
Well, no, I always go back to, I was like, well, it's an Australian Shepherd. Let's get an Aussie name. I was like, Dundee.
Oh, yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
this is like the most obvious. Yeah, this is the male. So that's the most obvious, like.
Dundee. That's even a good dog name.
Because when that's what I was telling my staff, it's like, who are some famous Australians? Which I'm not assuming they would all have just like British names, because I think, that was.
Yeah.
It was like an Aborigine or something like.
Yeah.
But I was like,
so did they
Dundee.
name it?
It's like, it's got to be Dundee. No, it's pretty cool.
They go with Carl.
And which, in his defense, like he said, it's like he had no choice in the name.
Yeah.
Like his daughters and his wife. Diesel.
Well, that's still not bad.
Yeah, I was like, it's not like a specifically Australian name. But I was like,
I was going to say, yeah, that's not bad.
But I was like, but Dundee was so, like the only Australian person I know of.
Yeah, Dundee.
Other than now, Chris Hemsworth. But like Chris, like.
What was Steve Irwin?
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Steve.
But it's not a D. It's not a D.
Could have named him Steve.
I was like, literally, Crocodile Dundee is like the only Australian person I can
What a
know.
good movie.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to talk about, we talked about our top 3 female actresses a while back.
That's not a knife.
Yeah. That chick is hot in that one.
Yeah, she is.
Man, when she crouches down.
I mean, when they, cast these movies, they're pretty smart about.
Really? They look at their looks?
You don't think they consider?
I thought it was all just based on their acting ability.
You're probably right. I mean, that's why Sydney Sweeney's an actor.
That's right.
An actress, I guess.
Actress, yeah.
I shouldn't gender her.
Yes, you may. You don't know what her pronouns are.
Yeah.
So the production forecast is down 16 to 40%. Pretty damn terrible in Australia. Acreage is down 7 to 20%. And this is all on the wheat. And they're the number 3 wheat exporter.
So what, I know you said you got some, $12 beans and $5 corn.
Mm-hmm.
What was the high they got to?
I think 12.05 was the highest I saw.
On beans.
I never saw corn, maybe $5.
What is it now?
I'll tell you right now. The best right here, beans are now $11.87.
It's not terrible.
And corn is, they never give me the damn price. All right, $11.76 is one of the other elevators for a fall, and August Sep corn, $4.67. We just cannot, it's crazy, man. It actually fell. It fell like 20 cents the next day.
Damn.
And I was so glad, because my little hard-headed ass, I'm like, I set numbers in my head. I'm like, if it'll get to this number, because I've already booked, I've been booking throughout the season. So like I kind of as it gets progressively into the season, I'm a little more picky with my booking because I've already been setting bases.
You got less left to sell.
Yeah. And so I was like, all right, if it'll get to $12 and $5 corn, then I'm going to book. And so I got a text from the chick at ADM, and she said, I can get you $12 beans. And I said, I'll book them. Can you get me $5 corn? And she said, I think I can make that happen. Because they sent out their text and it was like $4.98 on corn. And I was not going to let 2 cents stop me, but I was like,
right.
I was like, if I can get $5, it'll just make me feel better. And she said, I can make that happen. So I booked some corn and some beans.
So on average yields, what do you figure your break even is for this year?
Oh, shit, that's hard. I'd have to go and look at all my notes. To be honest with you, I don't remember. I mean, I would say with the cutting I've done, man, probably 10. My bean break even's probably in the 10.60 range.
Yeah.
I mean, so at like $12, I'm making money.
Yeah.
It may even be lower than 10.60, honestly. I'm probably shooting a little high. I have a full spreadsheet on my laptop where I did all those numbers. I know that basically when I hit into the 11s, I'm making a profit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hell, after the last couple of years.
I need it. And
any profit sounds damn good.
It does. And that's also still dependent on the yield.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, based on what average, right. And
if average yield, then it's like, yeah, because it's like, well, if the yields are down, I need a lot of them $12 beans to try to make up for it. But
that's where you hope to hit a home run, where you get the $12 beans, and yeah, you average 60 bushels or whatever.
That would be great. I'd be real happy. I might get a new truck. So
Logan will have an X9 next year.
X9 and a bunch of Holstein cows running around out here. But no, so our Australian brothers feeling the pain. And then Brazil bean acres are barely growing. Apparently they've slowed down. 26, 27 acres.
Well, they got all that rainforest to clear out.
I know. But even with that, their current Brazilian crop is still a record at 180 million metric tons. So bearish weight is still on the market short term. So they're just killing us in the yield too. If Australia is short and Brazil is slowing, U.S. exporters could get leverage into 26, 27 crop. So if China shows up, but that's a big if. So there you go.
So we still don't know for sure what China is going to be willing to buy.
No.
Which I go back to, I think we said it last week, even if they had said, handshake deal, whatever, sign it, whatever, we're going to buy this much, I still need to see
it's got to be locked in. Yeah.
Money hitting the bank, ocean liners actually heading to China before what's their word worth?
And in the last few times, their word is worth very little.
Right. And that's my, kind of thought on it is, right. I don't trust them any further than I can throw them.
No. And you asked me break even. I actually have this in the notes here. What do you think? So American Farm Bureau basically did a survey, and they came up with numbers for soybean break even, corn break even, and wheat. Do you know what those are? What do you think?
Okay, so across the board.
Across the board, what do you think break even on beans?
You said yours was going to be somewhere in the mid-10s.
Most likely. Now that's aggressive. I've been pretty aggressive.
Right. So I would say on national average is probably 11 or more.
12.27.
Damn. So as of right now,
they're still in a deficit.
Like everybody, like across not everybody, but on average across the board, soybean farmers are still losing significant money. Right. Mm-hmm. Like now we're a long way from harvest. So I guess, we're hoping for $13. But damn.
Got a lot of ground to cover to get there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's 12.27. Corn, $5.
Okay, so that's at least within sight.
Yep.
I feel like $5 corn's more likely to happen than $13 beans. Would that be?
Yes, that is a very safe assumption.
You agree with that? Yeah.
I would absolutely agree with that. There is reason for corn to climb. honestly, corn is one that I've been kind of annoyed that it hasn't been jumping more, because it's like there's actually some room in the market for some corn. And it's like, what the hell, man? The corn just ain't wanting to play. But it
can't get that E15.
Can't get the E15.
Well, and I would assume the fact that our cattle numbers are so low here in the country, obviously a lot of our domestic consumption is for cattle feed, and there's not enough.
Yeah, if you bastards would buy some more damn cows, it actually might help us out. Shell out some of that. It's like they're not cash,
but they're not even there. It's not even that we need more people buying them. It's like
we need them.
We need people retaining heifers and breeding them, and we need those heifers going into the breeding herd, and not into the feeder cattle supply.
Yeah. All right, here the next one I got on here. So Rollins, she's kind of made some headlines because she has announced the fertilizer production and expansion program that is being relaunched. And it is the headline project. It's CF Industries' $3.7 billion Blue Point ammonia plant, permitting wrapped up within 45 days. When done in 2029, it'll be the largest low-carbon ammonia plant in the world. Their goal with a lot of this, they're trying to get some domestic fertilizer production going.
Well, and
that's a good thing.
Kind of the question I've always asked, like, why don't we? I understand like overseas, labor is so much cheaper. Like, can they just do it so much cheaper than we can? I don't know how labor intensive it is.
Well, I know that fuel plays a big part in it, and we've talked about
fuel in the Middle East is basically
super
free.
cheap.
Yeah.
With you're talking like 19 cents a gallon for diesel in Saudi Arabia, and so they can $4 something, $5 something a gallon.
Purely because of the fuel costs, it's cheaper for us to have them ship it halfway across the world than it is for us just to make it right here.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I can see that. I haven't done the research to see if that's actually true, but yeah, okay.
We'll see what happens here. This is what Josh Linville, this is kind of what his remarks on this are. Removing government roadblocks that allow increased domestic fertilizer production is a great thing and is sorely needed. However, we need to make sure that what is being built and produced is what is needed. American farmers need to see domestic nitrogen and phosphate fertilizer production increase. Increasing products that are already well supplied or products that are not necessarily needed at the farm level does little to fix the problem at hand. Because that's what a lot of people are kind of worried. It's like they're going to do some fertilizer increases here, but it's going to be like, it'll be some of the offshoots that are not. I mean, nitrogen is probably the biggest one that we need to be making here. I mean, and because the U.S. is still, we're the corn kings in the United States, and corn is the most, I would venture to say, the most nitrogen hungry.
Right. Corn, and then your grass crops. I mean, wheat.
Yeah.
All your hay, which I understand that, and your pasture ground, which probably, I would dare say, doesn't make up a huge percentage of the nitrogen needs in this country. Right. That's the things. When I think of my fertilizer cost, it's all about the nitrogen.
Oh yeah,
nitrogen is what I need the most of.
Yeah. Yep, it is. And then Rollins also did announce that it looks like there's we talked a little bit last night that Josh Hoven or whatever wants to do some supplemental disaster relief, another one to farmers. And Rollins said that there is funds coming. I think it's going to be
Remind me who he is.
He's a politician of some sorts. I really don't know. I just know he's the one that floated the additional payments that we talked about last week.
So we can't trust him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a politician.
He's a politician, but they've now pretty much said there's going to be $13 billion coming.
Josh, I have no idea who you are. That was just
he's an avid listener. He's probably offended.
That was simply a shot at politicians.
So there is going to be more payments coming. Good or bad, they're coming. The Farm Bill. We haven't talked about this in a little bit because it's dead in the fucking water.
The Senate, because the House
passed it 224 to 200. 14 Democrats even crossed over and voted for it.
But the Senate can't get their shit together.
Senate is stuck. Boozman now saying text in June, markup next month. Senate recess May 23rd through June 1 delays everything. The Senate needs 60 votes, at least 7 Democrats. the big hang up, there's two big hang ups in there. Number one is the pesticide liability. They're still pooping their pants about the pesticide liability.
They changed that.
Apparently it's still in the bill, I guess, because that's what's got a lot of them hung up. And then the other one, there is something going on. I think there is some work requirements to get SNAP benefits. And the Democrats, by God, are not having it.
I mean, look, I think we probably said it before. I don't want anybody to go hungry. And because we are a nation, primarily of abundance. When somebody is truly in need, like they cannot do for themselves, I'm fine with some of my tax dollars going to that.
Yeah.
But it's when they are unable, like they are truly in need. And obviously, we've all been at the grocery store behind somebody who's got a grocery full of, a lot of times, junk food they're paying for a SNAP.
Yeah.
And then they'll roll out the cash to buy their cigarettes or their beer or whatever that SNAP doesn't cover. And, those are the people that give it a bad name. The young widow who,
killed her husband or something, you feel terrible for her.
Right. Or the single mama. Hell, I
have good friends that have actually been on SNAP and food stamps, or SNAP and welfare.
Well, like if
they were going to school at the time, and then they got out of school.
Legitimately struggling, and I'm fortunate. I don't go home and worry about is there food in my fridge or going to be food on my table, and so, which I also, the kind of libertarian side of me is like, well, I would rather the private sector pick that up. The churches, the local charity groups, like, and part of me, and maybe this is too idealistic, but if I didn't have such a tax burden on me,
you'd have the little funds to do those kind of things.
Already active in church and donate there, and our church is good about outreaching and helping with stuff like that. But even other, local food pantries, stuff like that, obviously, I guess you can donate there and you get it's a tax write-off.
Yeah.
But I'd rather, take that funds away from the government, because, if anybody can screw something up and present opportunity for it to be, defrauded, it's the government. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
And allow more of the private sector, nonprofits and whatever, to take over that.
I agree.
I don't know. Maybe that's too idealistic, and it would never, people be starving to death in the streets, everywhere. I don't know.
But, that is the SNAP and the pesticide
because I'm not convinced that it won't be taken advantage of.
I'm with you. We know
probably
it will.
Well over half the people that are getting it.
Yeah, and we know it will. Boozman, that's kind of pushing this thing, he is also pushing year-round E15, and he's been one of the big ones driving this, because he said on here the 2018 Farm Bill was actually based on 2012 data. The world is totally different now than it was in 2012. So very much pre-COVID. And so the extension expires September 30th of this year. So the time is running out. So we'll see. We'll keep tracking it. If there's anything that happens, we'll let you guys know.
Don't hold your breath.
Don't hold your breath. And our buddy, Chuck Grassley, he got kind of chapped. His ass got chapped lately. You follow Chuck much?
I haven't. No.
I like Chuck.
Yeah,
he's an Iowa corn guy.
He's probably one that should have retired.
He's about 172 years old, but he's like, by God, he says, we got this farm crisis now, and this president should deal with this farm crisis right now. He said, I'm hearing from bankers, we haven't had this kind of stress in ag since the 1980s. And he's bitching, he's raising hell about the tariffs. He says, putting 50% tariffs on things that have steel in them when you can't buy those things in the United States and you need them for your tractor to be finally manufactured is stupid policy. And he is telling them to take tariffs off all imported fertilizer. And then he said, farmers want their money from the marketplace, not from the federal treasury. And damn it, I agree with him.
Yeah, no, we that's been a drum we've been beating since the beginning.
Yep. So Chuck, he is ancient. He's very old, but he's always tended to be a pretty good friend of the farm. I mean, he has an ag background, like he farms, but he's always been a friend of ag. He's been pretty solid. So
yeah, I mean, he's an Iowan, so naturally,
and he's really breaking rank by kind of saying these things because he's a Republican and he's kind of speaking out against this. Something I want to get onto before we run out of time. I like to give planting progress on like kind of the country. You know, we're in the planting time.
Once I know you got done, did Circle H, our dads, get done?
Yep. I helped finish that up 2 or 3 days ago.
That was kind of our goal last week. It was like, y'all get done before the rain.
Yep.
Because again, it's like rain for the next 2 straight weeks here, if you can believe the extended forecast.
And man, I'm gonna tell you, man, I've been saying a lot of good prayers up because I didn't have to replant a single bean. And I just knew I was going to have to replant. And all my beans have come up. Everything has come up and it looks great. I mean, the last farm I planted up in Covington it may be coming up now, but it will be fine. But I had some that were questionable and dude, they came up great. So it's like perfect stands everywhere. I maybe have like 1 or 2 little spots that might be just a tad thin, but the beans will bush out. They'll kind of beans are far more forgiving than corn. They'll bush out really big, and we all love a good bush. And so, I mean, they'll take care of that.
Goodness.
But, so I did want to give, I'm done and Dad's done. And I wanted to give a run through here.
So you're on like a 4-month vacation right now.
I am. I'm just going to go on a straight up Coke fueled bender for the next couple of weeks.
This is Memorial Day weekend. You going to the lake?
I don't think my wife's even going to the lake. I haven't heard anything about it. So
I was about to say, you're going to have a hard time getting out of it this year. You got her done planting.
Oh man, there's plenty of spraying and stuff that needs to be.
We got to go. We got some pigweed. We got to go
hand chop this stuff.
Chop this, you know.
Go
to the lake, man. Hell, kick your feet up.
It's hard to do. I just think of shit that I got a track hoe that's still messed up. I need to fix. That's all I think about. Nationally, 76% of the corn is planted versus last year this week, 57%.
Yeah.
Pretty far ahead. Soybeans, hold on, let's see. Oh, yes, corn planted. And then they didn't give me the soybean. Tennessee is crushing it. 92% of Tennessee's corn is planted and beans, 76%. All far ahead of average. We do have some cotton boys on here. I won't leave you guys out of the mix. 49% planted. Iowa corn, 72%. Beans, 60%. Illinois, 54% corn, 57% beans. See, a lot of those Iowa states were getting some rains early on when we were dry.
Yeah.
And then Indiana, corn, 51%, beans, 51%, both ahead. Pretty much seems everybody is ahead. Missouri, 66 on the corn, 41% on the beans. Minnesota, corn, 68%, beans, 51. Wisconsin is all right, these are getting kind of down. Wisconsin's 31% corn, 28% beans, but moved 26 percentage points on beans in 1 week. That is one of the things that's wild. When I track these, you will see like it'll be a state, they'll be like 26%. 1 week will go by and it'll go up to like 60%. Like these dudes, when they get a dry spell and they can get in the field, I will tell you, man, people want to bitch about farmers.
They hammer down.
They get some shit done. Michigan, 17% corn, beans, 12%. So I don't know what's going on. We got some Michigan folks listening.
And I mean, just basic geography, I would assume that they
been cold.
They get a lot later start than us naturally. But yeah, obviously as the numbers reflect, like this was a incredible year in terms of getting in early.
Yeah.
Like just me talking to people, like just ask people, they're like, "Oh yeah, we're done."
Yeah,
like the few guys that got wheat, they're like, "Yeah, we're caught up to the wheat beans."
That's how most of the people.
But like everybody's like, "Yeah, we might have a few replants here and there." I was talking to a buddy tonight, and he's talking about deer damage.
Oh,
He's like, we've got one farm we have to replant every year because of the deer. I was talking to him about what's the name of the sheep fat?
Trico Pro. We just used it the other day.
Trico Pro. He's like, we're going to try something. I was like, it didn't sound like it was that. I couldn't remember the name.
There's Buckberry, or wasn't that, was it?
I don't know what it was, but he was like, yeah. But he said they had also gotten permits from the state to, I think they're going to go the old fashioned way.
Well,
Just
I'm probably about to do the same.
letting the chopper spray.
Yeah.
No, they're not literally bringing in a chopper because I know that could obviously also work.
Well, I've been thinking about buying a helicopter and doing that.
Well,
we got a friend that can fly it.
If beans get to like, what, $13?
Yeah.
You might be good.
If beans will go, I'm hoping they'll hit about $30 a bushel, and then I was going to buy a helicopter, and I'll get our buddy, Mr. Tim.
Yeah, that's our official bourbon sponsor. Like,
yeah. We might drink some bourbon and go fly the helicopter and shoot deer.
I mean, I would be fine with, as long as he's not drinking the bourbon.
Oh, no, man, he's going to drink the bourbon, too. That'll just make it more lively.
Well, I would be like, he can have the drink when we get back. But
I don't think it's just fun.
I've never flown in a helicopter, and I don't know the first time that I've flown one. As much as I know he's flown some helicopters in some hairy situations.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, I think he could be just fine.
You're probably right.
He might fly better intoxicated.
You're right.
Yeah.
You always said that, buddy. He's like, oh, man, I drive better after I've had a couple of drinks.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, keep telling yourself that, buddy.
Yeah. And then the next morning, they're like, which one of you drove me home last night? It's like, well, you drove yourself home last night. Yeah. No.
Not advisable.
No. I do appreciate Zach Top's thoughts on it, though. He's like, he was talking about, he's like, sobriety is a fad. And he said, man, just stay in good enough shape and be healthy enough that you can just enjoy a drink from time to time.
Yeah. Drink a normal amount.
Drink a normal amount. Yeah, don't go be a damn drunk, but.
Right, 6 to 8 a night, and then.
Bottles of whiskey?
No, just drinks in general.
Oh.
And then 10 or 12 on the weekend, and then you're always good.
Shit.
I'm joking there as well.
Yeah, no, but I'm with you, man.
And that's the thing. I was actually, shout out to the guys over at Barn Talk. They were talking to maybe when they had a guy that they made whiskey, and how like the bourbon and whiskey industry is kind of in a crisis. Like
people not drinking as much.
Americans aren't drinking near as much, and they're calling it California sober. Like I guess probably just a little younger than us, like really young millennials, and like I guess was it Gen Z's the next?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. They're not drinkers?
Well, they're California sober.
What the hell? Are they smoking a lot of dope or something?
They're doing some form of THC, whether it's edibles or the drinks, because now you got, I guess, the THC infused drinks. And
oh, gotcha. So they don't need alcohol.
Right. They're going that route, which.
Shooting up heroin, doing crack.
Okay. Well, I was going to say, it's like, who knows? That might. I don't know.
Banks, you seeing a lot of crack and stuff? Oh, yeah, all the time. See, Banks sees a lot of crack.
See, what are you going to be in 10th grade?
Yeah, 10th grade.
So
a lot of crack cocaine.
In that 9th to 10th grade age. Wow. Yeah, that's probably definitely not healthy.
Yeah.
But part of me does wonder, it's like, okay, if all of a sudden people are doing like a little THC, like these infused drinks.
Cocaine is actually, I just saw, I actually had a listener.
I saw that article.
Yeah.
So cocaine is less addictive than sugar.
Yeah.
There was who was the famous, I want to say he was like a hip hop guy that said he had a harder time quitting sugar than he did cocaine.
I don't know. It wasn't like Biggie Smalls or something. Was he?
It was somebody like that.
I don't know. It wasn't Eazy-E.
I'm gonna put it in the Terminator and see.
I'm thinking Biggie because he's fat. It's like some fat guy would say.
I don't think it was him. Let me see. But I was like, I could see that, which a lot of people are saying, we're like, well, there's more people addicted to sugar than cocaine, just because thankfully a lot of people don't do cocaine.
What about caffeine? I bet you caffeine would be a hell of a one as well.
Well, and
I know Bobby Lee's a terrible addict to caffeine.
I drink the shit out of coffee. I think, like, there are some days, like, if I'm, out of town or whatever, like, I'm going to try to find some coffee, but, like, I'm not, like, people joke, like, I can't function without my coffee. Like, I don't think I can.
Man, I get a headache.
If you don't have it?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I've ever experienced that.
Yeah.
You know, like when we were backcountry elk hunting, which we did actually have coffee like in camp. So, but like, if you're like, there's not gonna be coffee tomorrow, I'll be like, damn, that sucks.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna be like, I can't function. Like,
Oh yeah.
like,
y'all
are gonna have to get me some coffee. Like,
Yeah.
I
don't get like that. I just know.
I feel like I really enjoy it. And I don't know, you know, people say, you know, like, and I do believe, like, some people, like, just their body chemistry makes them. It's like alcohol. I'm thoroughly enjoying this bourbon. Like, if I cannot have a drink tomorrow night or next week when we record, like, okay,
Yeah.
that'll be fine.
Yeah.
In fact, tomorrow night, Willis has ball practice late.
So you'll definitely be drinking.
Yeah, I mean,
Probably you'll be the drunk dad.
that's the only way I get through his practices.
You better get on that base.
Get off the shed.
He's Will Ferrell.
What is the one where he's in baseball? What is he yelling? Get on the bag.
Get on the bag.
Yeah.
Get on the bag. What does he say to him? He's like, I will take you. He starts telling him, like, I'm going to beat you. Like, I can't remember what all he says.
The get off the shed one is pretty much the same thing, but he's not even drinking in that one.
No, he's not drinking.
We're sitting there at the grill, but
Yeah.
he's like, get on the bag. Like, he's definitely like pouring beer.
Yeah.
Like
He's the dad.
sloppy drunk by the end of that.
Yeah. That's Bobby Lee.
Honestly, in my experience, not that the males and the dads are totally innocent here, but having had several years on the travel softball and baseball circuit,
The women are worse?
the moms, when it comes to showing up at the ball field and they know they're going to be there all day, having the cooler and the Stanley Cup, and that's not water in that Stanley Cup. Again, this is just one man's experience. It's like 95%. Like the dads, like they're the ones who are like, all right, I got to drive us home 2.5 hours when we get done with this shit.
Yeah.
And
She'll be asleep, passed
moms,
out.
by the time you get to that 6 o'clock game, like you're like, oh Lord, like let's hope his umpire does not. He has thick skin.
Yeah, they're tuned up by then. Yeah. Man, I could see that. I could see that.
I definitely experienced it more, which in baseball, it's a little different because it's almost always 2-day tournaments. So you're not there all freaking day long. Softball, like, you get there at like 7 a.m. Sometimes you're still there at midnight.
Oof, yeah, that sounds terrible.
Not that
I would be
condoning
drinking
that at all.
Yeah.
But, right. Like a lot of them, you know, by that 11 or 12 o'clock game, like, like, hey, it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
I'd probably have to just have a drink. No, I'm
not going to say I've never, like when we have a break between games, we go grab some Mexican food.
Yeah.
You got to have some cervezas.
get a little blow while you're there.
I've never seen it on the menu.
No, that's how and I'm that way. I don't need coffee. Coffee is a routine for me, which I'll tell you.
I love it.
I do too. I just love it. And coffee it gives me a good like morning BM. Have a good duty after I have a good cup of coffee.
Really, maybe it does have that effect on me, and just because I never do without it.
Yeah.
Maybe I would.
I wish that it didn't do that to me. Cause like, see where it messes me up is when, like if we're going out of town or something or I got to be somewhere early in the morning, I hate it because then it's like, man, I need to get up. I try to get up like an hour early so I can drink coffee ahead of time and try to crap before. But no, coffee is going to hit me. Yeah, it's going to hit me. I'm going to have to go to the bathroom. But and it makes me piss like a racehorse too. It is, I will pee a bunch, but no, that's, I'll get a headache from it, but I can't drink a ton of coffee because I'll get jittered up. So I usually have about 2 cups in the morning.
I'm the opposite. Like I can drink coffee all day long.
I wish I could. Oh, I really wish I could.
There are some days when I realize like, okay, I probably have had.
You're like, I've had 1,200 milligrams of caffeine. I need to slow it down.
Well, it's more like, especially when it's cold outside, like it's easier to keep drinking. Like I'm going to drink coffee 365 days a year, but typically by lunchtime, I'm done.
That's when we switch to whiskey. I like to switch over to whiskey around 11 o'clock.
And but like if it's cold outside and like I might just keep drinking. Like that's basically my beverage for the day.
Yeah, I will sometimes when I lift in the afternoon, I'll brew a cup of coffee before I work out.
Well, I'm like, and we rarely, like, speaking of which, I'm probably overdue for a date night with the wife, but
I definitely am.
like
With my wife.
When we not with mine.
Not with yours.
Okay. Good. That's good to clear up. But like when we would occasionally go to Memphis for dinner, which God, we tried. Yeah.
You're good to go now. Guards cleaned their ass up right now.
Well, and right, and I
You need to go while you can.
Memphis ain't near as bad as like the national rep it gets, in my opinion. Anyway, like when we get done with dinner, be like, they bring you your tab. You're in a nice restaurant. Like, hey, can I get a cup of coffee to go? Like, which a lot of those nice restaurants make really good coffee.
Yeah.
Too. So I'll drink coffee on the way home. Like then
Then you're ready to do some cracking when you get home, fueled up. Do you get your bride a coffee?
I was about to say, and I'm ready. It has nothing to do with the coffee. But I can do that like on the drive home and then go to bed. Like
You crack on the drive home. How do you not have a wreck? That sounds reckless.
the coffee.
Oh.
I get the coffee to go.
Oh, I got you. I was gonna say, man, cracking on the road, like that'd be. I mean, I see how you could do it.
But I can have like an evening cup of coffee and then go to bed.
I know I can, because when we do the church podcast, I drink coffee on it, and that's at like 11 o'clock at night, and I go in and go to bed.
Yeah. I enjoy listening to y'all's. I could never record with y'all.
That late?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's hell on me. I'm getting into bed about 1:30 in the morning.
I mean, I was tickled that we were going to start at
8 o'clock
tonight.
Yeah. Banks had to take a dump for 20 minutes.
But I mean, it's 9:40.
Yeah. This is crazy.
If we had recorded tomorrow night, we'd just now be starting.
Yep.
Just because we got ball practice.
Yep. Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm good, man. Kids are out for summer now. Speaking of summer in America, let me fire up old Joe.
Which I do get annoyed at people like, because all the kids be like, it's summer. I'm like, bullshit. We got another month of spring.
Well, we had a pretty mild spring run for a little while.
I confused the hell out of one of the kids the last year I was actually coaching, because it was right this time of year. They just got down. He's like, it's summer now. And I was like, no, it's not. And I mean, I was being honest with him. I was like, no.
Technically, it's still spring.
I won't call the kid out by name just because, he's a minor. But I was like, no, dude. I was like, it is not summer. Like, summer's like June 20th or so. Because my birthday is June 16th. And I'm like, everybody's like, oh, it's summer birthday. I'm like, no, technically, that's a spring birthday.
And June, man, it's approaching. You know what's coming.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, we got one more episode before we do our Pride Month.
Our Pride Month episode. Well, actually, if we can go by the state of Tennessee now. The state of Tennessee is Nuclear Family Month.
Nuclear family.
Bill Lee did away with Pride Month, and it is now the Nuclear Family Month.
I wish we do away with all the bullshit. Like it's June, it's May, it's whatever.
Yeah, well, we got to just, it's got to be. The Rainbow Warriors are about to be coming out, my friends. Y'all be prepared. For our good listeners in California and our more blue states, y'all batten down the hatches because the shit's coming.
The flags will be everywhere.
The flags are coming. All right. Oh, man.
Logan, that was a wah-wah. Forgot to change the board.
Damn it.
Let me start off with two words. Made in America.
All right. You got one?
I can do one.
All right. What you got?
So it is a company that we have done before, but not a product. So I don't know if I'm splitting hairs there, but we're,
we're pretty flexible.
Was this 239?
Yeah. It's starting. We got to really get creative at this point to keep this charade going.
Yeah. And sometimes, if I find something made in USA, I'll buy it just so we can do this. All right.
Yeah.
Look,
I look for stuff.
I don't need to buy any more stuff. Junk. Yeah. But if it's made in USA, it's not junk.
That's right.
So I'm pretty sure we've done Land Pride before, the company.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I did it because my dad's no-till cedar is a Land Pride.
Yeah.
Which Kubota has now bought Land Pride, which of course a lot of people, I get a very rare occasional hate because we're big made in USA people. And they're like, well, you drive Kubota tractors. Like, okay. Well, the Land Pride attachments are made mostly in Kansas. I believe Salina, Kansas.
Okay.
But because I just bought me my old skid steer, I got a Kubota / Land Pride grapple.
Okay,
It's
there you go.
only attachment I bought for it. It came with a
And
bucket.
it's made in USA?
Yeah.
Nice.
Those Land Pride attachments made in USA. I have used that grapple. I used it for a couple hours there one day. That thing is awesome.
I'm sure.
Like I had a couple of trees that are like all the way back to when we had the tornado. When was that? Like 3 or 4 years ago?
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
like falling out in the pasture. And like they were just out in the pasture. They weren't on a fence or anything. So it's kind of like, but they were a little bit of an eyesore. Like they're just, it is amazing what that machine, because I actually bought
Can pick up.
I mean, I have the 65 horse Kubota skid steer, which is the smallest they make. But like that grapple, like you just grab onto it and I don't even know what I'm doing with it yet. But that was one of the reasons I bought the skid steer, because, well, immediately after that tornado, I had a buddy of mine, Rhett, give him a shout out, came over to the house, and I did have a huge pecan tree.
I remember that.
It was a real problem. Like I literally had to haul some steers to the processor that Monday morning. That tornado hit on Friday night.
Yeah.
I was like, it's going to take me all weekend to get this tree just slightly moved out of the way. He shows up with the skid steer and grapple and like literally had it moved in like 45 minutes. And I was like, that's insane.
Dude, those things are bad. So when the tornado hit, I was over my in-laws where they lived. Their road got
Yeah, they did.
got covered. It was like 20 trees.
They were on that same path. From like my house and then our other farm. Yeah.
They were literally trapped in there because it was like 20 trees on the road on this side and 20 trees on this side. And I took my tractor over there because it happened on a Friday.
Yeah, it was a Friday night, right about like 6 o'clock.
Yeah, because I took Saturday morning, I got up and I got in my little 90 horsepower tractor, and I was like, I'm going to go over there and I'll help them get shit out of the way. I had my front end loader on, and I was driving over there, and it was hilarious because I left out pretty early in the morning, and I told Marcy it was